pieces. Serenity and Oshi7, while falling back from their original fight, have now got back into combat with Minder and Co. And while Minder knocks down Oshi, Serenity trades back, knocking out Deadly Slob. So it is back to a 1v1 here. Minder tucked inside this building with a shotgun, has his teammate outside and downed. We've also got Suntouch and Youngbei driving past close by, but Minder did use his shotgun to finish Serenity off and shut out that pairing before reviving Deadly Slob. So we are working our way through the squads. Got some time to heal up in here. Noddy coming on through. Youngbei and Suntouch, again, like Sakura and Break, have gone from being a long way out of the circle, a long way out of the first blue, to now diving deep in and going through the second section. They're coming straight past Xeon and Mithrane here, but these guys are still pinned by Natu and Pyro from inside that garage station, so they're not going to stop anywhere near that. We'll just keep driving through the pair of them and move on to the next stop. Youngbei gets dropped out by Mithrane. Nice shot. He just decided to not let them drive out straight through. Shoots them straight out of the car from that police tower. Suntouch takes no damage whatsoever, but just loses his teammate on the middle of that bridge and is now in a solo play mode. We also have one other player running around in a solo situation at the moment, as only 52 are left alive. But in doing that, Mithrane and Xeon actually expose themselves to Natu and Andy Pyro again, and once more, one of them is down low. He's going for some impressive long-range shots if you can pull them off, but with only the 2x scope, it's a little bit ambitious. Has to focus a little way back more now on Mithrane and Xeon inside that police tower. They are all inside the circle, so they can stay here for quite a while and keep themselves safe without having to worry about the blue. The circle is coming in once more, and there are some players on the edge of it. Sakral's been down, but Break has just revived him. He's got no helmet left anymore, but is revived. Raymond and Jessipia out on the edge do have eyes on him and will have been the reason and the man to down Sakura, but they are being flanked now around the right by Break. They are both behind the same tree, and Break has good rock coverage here, while Sakura's down on the right hand side. Looking up and over towards the tree, Bonclaw's taking out Ferris and Menkoya's taking a Hybrid Panda elsewhere, but Sakura's knocked out Jessipia now, so behind that tree, Raymond is now in a 1v2, where Break and Sak have good coverage on his flanks. Sakura's going to push aggressively forward. He has that AK with the... oh, never mind. Doesn't need it. Breaks finished off Raymond as he went back to try and heal it up. So a hairy moment as Sakura was down. Needs to find a helmet on these two. But ultimately, good positioning from the combination of Break and Sakura to flank on those pairing, who, while started out well getting that down, got themselves a bit pinched behind one tree. Meanwhile, Tommy from the Two Angry Gamers and Stoddy are still looting up through some of these container buildings right on the edge of the blue, and to their right, or to the left, sorry, Bonklol and MKR are not full health either. Why is Bonklol taking that much damage? Was that from Stoddy and Tommy? Did they land a shot over that distance? I don't think there's a clear line of sight there. If they did, that's incredibly impressive. But Bonk is healing up inside this house. He's got full boost running and is using a couple more bandages while inside to get himself healed up. But the blue is about to hit this white circle, and they're about to have to make a move again. We are still at 48 teams left alive, as everyone is playing very passively at the moment. They try and get themselves into those top numbers as much as possible. Oh, this circle is moving very poorly for a lot of our teams. Stoddy and Tommy going to make a run quickly across the field and try and get out of here before MKR and Bonk have finished their healing. That may be the right call. They've also got just enough distance and trees between them. They may get away without being spotted. The vast majority of our teams right now are outside the new safe zone, so this is about to get very active as they make their move in. Suntouch and Youngbei being pinned down by Outsider and 3T Butts, who have position inside the building. Suntouch, of course, lost his teammate earlier on across that bridge and is now alone because of it, but has good defilade to keep himself hidden from these pair, and is actually just being a bushwookie, hiding himself away, playing as safely as he can now that he doesn't have that second set of eyes. It's interesting looking through the statistics on all of our players and all of the guys in this. The longest kill is 1.3 kilometers. It's huge. But the average long kill distance is nearly 300 meters higher in duos and squads than it is in solo. Players are feeling a lot safer and a lot more confident in going for these long-range shots, these long-distance shots, when they have those squad mates, those other eyes looking out for them and covering their backs.
this is also related to the bug that actually the only accurate, really accurate long-range shots statistics are for solos, because the statistic is counted when the player actually dies. So you can shoot someone, drive off, and it counts as a long-range kill. So yes, we need to fix this actually.
So there's some of that in there too. Edberg then pushing up behind Utoric and Hayes here. Utoric is very, very low. Hayes has an ump, and Edberg's pushing up close. Hayes could do a lot of damage to him here, but Utoric is getting off to safety. Hayes sees him and does turn to down Edberg without taking much damage. They were both going for the drop that's just around here, but they have not alone in this, as there's more players now down the hill behind Utoric. Hayes moves across and does shut down Edberg while he's on the floor, but Hotted is still firing on towards his squad mate. Utoric is still very, very low. While Hotted doesn't have a lot of health himself, he has that position and he has that ACOG to start firing towards them. Hayes darts away as Utoric gets an angle on Hotted and shuts him out. They have had to give up on the crate, but picking up 2 kills for it like that will not be a bad trade. Meanwhile, Minder and Deadly Slob have snuck up behind them and are still watching over this crate. So if Hayes and Utoric think they're safe to continue going for that drop, they may be in for a bad day. This pairing have used all that information, that they heard all those shots, they gathered all of that topic, and have set themselves up in a good position to watch over this. Hayes still with that ump as well, does not fare too well on an engagement over that distance. So goes for it to position himself very well to hide behind that crate. Meanwhile, 15 seconds before the circle comes in, and while both of these squads are outside of it, Deadly Slob and Minder are closer, and as a result will have slightly more time to play with when getting to that circle. Tundra and None the Ghost inside and on the top edge, up by Severny. We still have a couple of squads fighting it out. Minder actually decided to go for the crate. They waited long enough. They now decide it's time to go and take a shot, and he's found himself an AWM. Can they get to the circle in time, and can they keep this alive, or will they be caught getting to the edge with Utoric and Hayes coming up behind them? And meanwhile, AP Video is taking out Jari with a quick Scar L headshot. She's down though, could be revived in a bit. As Deadly Soul and Minder finish looting that AWM, decide it's time to get moving. AP Video credits the kill with Jari as Xerox finishes Haymoth off as the move towards the circle starts to come through. A little bit of damage on the pair of these, but they've got some time if they don't run too close to Forsen and friends when trying to clear it up. Falling a little bit further down the hill, going to loot the bodies of it. Realizing they've got a little bit of time, but 3T Butts has opened up a kill onto Natu. So are those squads, Natu finally getting out of that police tower, finally getting unpinned, is only found by other teams. Finished off. Bonklow's ran over Sada with a vehicle. Sada plays, ran over by Bonklow. Somewhere out on their way towards the building. Daisy RU's coming up behind Xerox right now. They were in a vehicle of their own. They've just straight up ran over AP Video. Nuktiv in the driver's seat getting credited with that. And AP Video is a long way outside the circle here for his squad mate to try and revive him. That may be it. That may have just written his life off, taking him out of the picture. Meanwhile, Noisy Boy and Goatee are hiding inside the crater caused by that plane crash with Nanny Panny and Folson off to one angle. Now Onuktiv and Daisy RU coming from the other side. So these guys are about to get sandwiched in, but if Onuktiv and Daisy don't know they're in the circle, in that crater, they may be able to pop up on here. They have a Thompson too, so at this close range, they can tear through them. Goatee firing down towards Daisy RU. Onuktiv managed to get himself behind the tree. Daisy's hiding behind the car, so we do have good cover on the pair of them, and they're all inside the circle with the grenades starting to come out. And if landing in the right spot, these can really shake them up. Onuktiv taps AP Video down from a distance. Onuktiv turned behind and found that flank coming through. AP Video shut off outside the blue. And another car pulls up to join it. Minder comes around behind. Daisy RU pulls his shotgun out to try and take the two of them down, while MKR has taken a little bit of damage from that blast. It's nothing too serious, and they are able to drive off, continue to safety. We have another circle on the map. Let's see where it shows us. It's right in the middle of everything here. We've got fights going off around the edge, all the sides. On the east flank, there's a heavy number of players. A lot of them down and a lot of fight going through. 3T Butts taking that Bonklow. I'm finishing MKR off there as soon as they got out of their car. Tommy Rage has knocked out Sakril over on the west side of the bridge, and Mankundra actually has one of the few safe spots inside the white zone here. Gibson Pieces is pushing up towards him after having downed his teammate. They're just waiting to see him, not rushing for the revive, and it's a smart play. or sorry, not rushing to finish off Septic Falcon, who is Gibbs and Pieces' teammate. Kendra has Non the Ghost on the far flank. They actually have a very spread position between these guys, and he's going to try and flashbang up and over the top. Gibbs and Pieces, that's going to blow up right in front of him, and he's going to have a tough time seeing Mankundra if he pushes for this way forward. But again, he's playing it safe and passive. Now he's going to go for it. The flashbang may have worn off by now. Does get over the edge, fires Gibbs and Pieces, goes for what shots he can with the hip fire. Does manage to pull it off on an already low health player. Only 5 bullets left in the weapon though. Break finishes off Stoddy, taking down Tommy Rage's teammate. Didn't catch whether Sakura was finished by Tommy or if he is going to be revived again here by Break, but that is his second down, so it's a tougher time to revive him in the speed to deal with. Noisy Boy and Ngoti are fighting with Hayes and Utoric on the top of this hillside here. Down at the bottom behind that shack though, they're very pinned. Break, there we go, finishes off Tommy Rage. So that's Stoddy and Tommy both out of the game, both taken out by Break. Hayes continues to bandage himself up in anticipation of this next engagement. They also managed to drive here past the majority of the fighting in the blue and on the next side of the next white circle, but with 32 teams still alive, this circle is getting very, very cramped. Active Daisy IU still fighting Forsen. Nanny Panny is very spread from Forsen at the moment, but she's safer because of it. K-Dop is coming up behind, and Nida Hayes is very close to these two. Has that ump, and will switch out the suppressed weapon to try and fire them. Their car is very low health and is already smoking heavily. Need to get away from fire fast, but there's not a lot of places you can go right now where that's possible. And as if on cue, 3T Butts destroys their Dacia, blowing it out the water. Meanwhile, Jam Dot taken out by Ngoti. Forsen's finished off Inductive with that headshot. Scoom finishes off Ngoti in return. And there's a lot of knocked out players suddenly around this map. The circle is pushing in, and you can see them all there on the horizon. Those red bars of knocked out players that are soon going to start getting hit by the blue electricity. But we got a good defensive position here from 3T Butts and Outsider in the middle of the circle. Guys, we said, are a very, very strong combo, have great ratings, are very high on the leaderboards, and we're seeing why. They've good defensive position in the middle of the circle early on. Scoom finish off the Ngoti after killing Noisy Boy. Moondie now finds Sai Syndicate and Cat coming up the hillside. Sai gets down by Mahipawanga. Butchering his name, and I apologize for that, but Cat is still stuck down outside of the blue. Daisy IU finishes off Forsen, but Forsen gets the kill credit on Onuktiv. These are all players that are outside the blue and dying to the electricity being credited. Cat, now that the circle has hit the next stage, is taking a lot of damage from here and is trying to wait for that smoke to bloom out and give him an opportunity to get to safety, but it's not going to happen. Mahipawanga grabs the second kill there, taking out the combination of both Sai Syndicate and Cat. Looking like he wants to go for the loot, but it's a dangerous play at this point in the game because that blue does a lot of damage. Down to our top 20 now. Ilanx finish off Mithrain and Xeon with a frag grenade actually to get that second kill. Utoric has been picked off now by None the Ghost, meaning Hayes here is solo. Nanny Panny, our first and only player so far to die to the play zone. Finished off by the electricity, just couldn't quite get in time. There are some more players outside the edge of it. Onto Hayes' left, there's one holding off, but he's pinned by Mankundra and None the Ghost. They are being slowly flanked by a couple more, but they are cautiously pushing up and around. Outsider and 3T Butts still in those buildings at the top of the hill. Hayes does spot None the Ghost and starts to tag him up, but can't do any serious damage. But those shots he's just pulled off will give his position away to Scoom, who's on the hill behind him. There, Scoom starts to fire down. Hayes hears it, wasn't aware of what it was, and actually in his favour, Scoom was firing at this same combo of Mankundra and None the Ghost. Doesn't appear to have seen Hayes behind this rock just yet, so Hayes has unintentionally got himself a little bit of support here. 30 seconds to go, and all of these players now are close to the edge. Scoom here at the top of the hillside just behind. It may have just there caught a glimpse of Hayes behind that rock. You can see the movement at the corner of the screen just over the hill, but as the fight continues, Hayes will knock down None the Ghost, and this is Scoom's chance to get to the safety here. While these guys are all distracted with each other, Hayes feeding off a second kill. Scoom could have been moving towards the circle. Interesting play that he hasn't. I'm intrigued why, because now he's decided to make his move after Hayes has killed the pair of them. He's going to take this fight, but Hayes turns on him, and Hayes, after fighting a 2v1, turns on Scoom while under fire and pulls off the kill, but he is very, very low and the blue's coming in. He's trying to loot at the moment. It's a slow circle at this point, so he can try and outrun it. He's going to pull for the heal. The damage is ticking on through. Don't think he realized. I thought he was already healing up with a medkit or something, but it doesn't appear that he was, and he will push towards the circle. Sacril finally killed off by Machine TV. Hayes has outrun this circle to get himself to the safety. There was no one there waiting for him, so he might get away with it. Meanwhile, Lost Aiming is pressuring on these houses with his teammate there being down, off towards the one side. But all of these players are once again inside the blue, so they can't stay here for long. Does finish off Break from outside the circle, and well, it was just a consolation kill, as now he will ultimately fall. Break gets killed with the machine, but Lost Aiming dies to the player zone. Anti-Pyro just drives inside the circle as a last second clutch as his health ticks down very, very low. Has got an opportunity to heal now. 3T-Butts and Outsider are still inside this building, right in the center of the circle as we hit the top 10. So, if we hit tab, we'll see who is still alive. Outsider and 3D-Butts there as a team. Andy Pyro is solo. Hayes still solo. Suntouch solo. Mahepawanga and Moondai there as a combo. Daisy RU solo, and Pacife TV and Twitch TV Kailank both there as a team. So, a lot of options and a lot of possibilities for who comes out of this. Hayes is spread off to one side. 3T-Butts and Insider inside this building together. Gonna get surrounded from everyone at the moment. Andy Pyro's got himself back up to full health. Izzy RU off to one corner, and Hayes is right. There's Untouch on the edge of the bottom edge of the white circle. Has this team of Moondai Wanga coming up towards him. They, however, have spotted Andy Pyro down the hill behind them, and that's where their focus is put at the moment. Andy Pyro getting shot at by the pair of them, is trying to return fire, realizes that's not a fight he can take, and is off to try and get to safety. Not going to work, as he had absolutely no cover whatsoever, and he does get picked off at 9th alive spot. Hayes once again on the edge of this circle, still looking to heal himself up as the circle continues in now, so he's pushing forward. There's smoke grenades to try and cover him from Outsider and 3T-Butts. They don't have any other kind of distraction for him yet, so he's going from rock to try and get up towards this compound. Everyone else is on the far side of the hill, and Hayes is now being fired on from the windows. The pair of them trying to land these rounds, and he is getting to a sort of safety. But before he gets there, 3T-Butts will finish him off and knock down Hayes. Kailank picked off a kill while that was all going on of one of our other solo players. Took a bit of damage himself while doing it, but Pacife is here to cover. Moondai flanking around to the right-hand side. They are going to see him in just a second. He hasn't spotted this pairing, so he's in full sprint. Now he sees them and starts to pop some rounds in their direction, but they've got good cover at the top of the hill by this tree and through the enfilade. The next circle is forcing 3T-Butts and Outsider outside of their building, and there's Pacife downed by Moondai and Mahepawanga. Moondai finally gets the kill on Pacife after Kailank is finished off by his teammate, and Suntouch is our only solo player left now. Outsider and 3T-Butts inside that compound can't stay there for much longer and are already moving. With a minute to go, we're down to a very small circle. Suntouch, I believe this is the same bush, is still hiding in, or very close to, the same bush, and it's going to work out for him as he finds Mahepawanga hiding behind that tree. Takes him down, isn't going to be able to down him, but now he's got to be aware of where Moondai is coming from. Still in that same bush. Moondai is looking for his position. Can't quite see which one he's in yet. Meanwhile, 3T-Butts and Outsider are actually going to flank around here to Moondai's left, and if they time this right, he's going to be distracted trying to find Suntouch as he pushes forward now to a bush of his own. Realizes, I think, where Suntouch is hiding. Suntouch steps up as he tries to go for the revive, and he does manage to pick off Moondai for a second kill of that pairing from the same bush. But now, Outsider and 3T-Butts have heard all those shots and are pushing towards that direction. They have that rock for cover, but Suntouch is right on the other side of it. He gets around to find 3T-Butts and downs him. He hasn't got a lot of health left though, and does he know where Outsider's hiding? It does not appear that he does, because he's not covering his left-hand side too well. Now he catches a glimpse of him and gets hidden behind the rock. So as 3T-Butts is downed and pinned between the two, Outsider looking for the best possible position to get around this rock. But Suntouch has a good angle here. He's trying to go for the heal, but there's S12K! Peeks around the rock and quickly shuts it out for an Outsider 3T-Butts first place position. Oh, I was rooting for Suntouch coming through there, I'm not going to lie. After hiding in that bush the way he did, his only 2 kills of the game coming on that 3rd place team that he wiped out, it's impressive.
Yeah, I was hoping for him to get a kill and later heal up, but just rushed him. Nothing that he could do against S12K.
Yeah, that kind of range, that was going to blow him away no matter how much time he had to heal. So, there is the results of game number 1. We are